What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. We hope everybody's having a great day. We have a very special guest, and I always say special guest, but it's true because we don't get to talk to too many people that were involved in these crazy things that happened here in the Rio Grande Valley. And I think it's super important that we gather their stories, the true stories. So, Robert, what do you think about what's going to happen today, man?
Well, we just met Miguel, and Miguel, you haven't told us much, so we're all going to learn his story together, basically, during this podcast. Yeah. I'm interested. We've heard one story already about one of the survivors, and that was interesting, and it opened up a lot of questions for us, so I guess we'll get into it and start answering them.
Absolutely. So, Miguel, before we begin, I guess let us know about yourself and tee us up for what we're about to talk about.
Well, people out there, my name is Miguel Herrera, and know what else to tell you. I live alone. My kids are gone, and just here to experience again, all over again, a moment where it's been in my life for all these past years.
How old are you now, Miguel?
I'm 58 years old already.
58 years old. How old were you?
I was maybe like 21, 22.
When the bridge collapsed. I'm sorry, when the bridge collapsed. I'm still stuck on the pause. When the bus accident happened.
Collapsed, yeah. At that time, I had just graduated from TSTI. And I was working for a doctor as a dental technician. And, you shoot me the question, see what
So were you on the bus that morning?
No. I was passing by.
Oh,
Passing by. And at the moment when I was passing by, the bus, the whole commotion already happened. I didn't see the Coca-Cola guy actually crash behind the bus, but I experienced a moment where the bus was already collided in the water, which is 20 feet high, 20 feet on the air, and 10 feet on the water.
Mm-hmm.
But that moment, I stopped my car and I saw down. I saw most of the kids already. Some of them were like half bodies out by the window, and some of the kids were just trying to swim across, and some of them were just on top of the bus.
Was the bus already on its side? Or?
It was flat on the water.
It was already on the underwater.
So the kids were actually just standing up, and at the moment, the kids who know me, they were calling my name, Mike, and I go, damn, man, I freaked out, man, and it was just a moment of craziness to me because, I don't know what it got to me that, like I said, it's 20 feet high, 10 on the air, and 10 on the water. So I was like trying to find a way how to get in there. There's this traffic rails, and there's like trees and grass. So at that time, I got on the car and I drove back to the nearest home, and I got a water hose. I tied it by the rail and I started going down, and I took a dive for it. And
before we go any further, kind of explain to us what life was like back 33 years ago when this happened. Like, what was life back in Alton, Texas?
Well, I don't understand what you're trying to ask me.
What were there vehicles there? Were horses? What was life like?
Oh,
the demographic.
¿Cómo era el lugar ahí?
Elton, the area is like a very poor area. People live in old homes, mobile homes, stuff like that.
The community knew each other.
Yeah. Well, in that neighborhood, everybody knew each other more or less. And how I got there, I got married at that time. I was married, and I ended up living in that area. And
so you knew a lot of the kids that.
I didn't know a lot of people, but most of the kids knew my name, and because of whoever lived there, and they used to just hang around,
Yeah.
Todos del barrio.
Todo el barrio. Es like a barrio.
Yeah. No, pues es que todos se conocen. Sí. Si no estás en barrio, estás en ranchito, and everybody knows who the ranchers are. Yeah. So then you went and got a water hose.
Water hose.
And tied it to the railing. And started lowering yourself down.
Started lowering myself down. At the moment, I just took a dive for it. And I don't know why I did it. It just so happened, that I'm not a very good swimmer, and I wasn't a very good swimmer back then. I knew how to swim, but I didn't know how to save lives or actually swim like maybe not even 5 feet in the water. But at that moment, from the rail to the bus accident, it must have been maybe 10 feet away or so. And I just took a dive. I saw the kids starting getting emotional.
No, see, yeah. I mean, they're children, son
Yeah.
chavalos.
And I took a swim for it, and I just went over.
Did you manage to get onto the bus?
No, I was just in the water. And first kid that I saw alive just pulling with me. And I kept on swimming and pulling. And I would tell him, help me out, help me out. And at the point, I was trying to get across to where there's a little island where the water just hits the caliche pit, the wall, and then it comes back, like a wave. And at a certain point, it's not deep no more, where you can actually stand on your feet at a certain point. So I managed to get to that point because I would keep on telling the kid, to help me out, to save his life. So I got to the point where I could stand on my feet, and I just pulled him.
¿Cómo estaba el agua?
I was freezing cold. The water, el agua estaba mugrosa. Es un caliche pit donde actualmente cae toda la baba, mugrero, ¿verdad? Disposed water.
Yeah, the runoff waters from the roads and the drainage.
We also heard that there was diesel from the...
Yeah, it's all kinds of chemicals and stuff like that. It was bad water,
Yeah, bad water.
Caliche
It's stagnant,
pits-
estancada.
Caliche pits where they throw the other junk left over from CDs and stuff like that. But at that moment, I managed to get the kid out of the danger. And like I said, by the street, 10 feet up, there's like a little island where the water just hits and y se regresa para atrás. So I put that kid right there, and I actually got him, and I put him there, put him there. And at the point, like I said, my mind was just freaked out, I went back. And I started swimming, and I got another one.
When you say swimming, were you going into the bus?
No, I was
Out on top of the
yeah,
water.
the bus was full of water. There's no way I could
there was
go
no way to get in there. Okay.
No way.
So the kids you were getting were the ones who had already gotten out.
The
of the
ones
bus.
that were survivors,
Sí, sí, sí.
hanging by the window, up there, or people just holding onto the bus, surviving. Whoever was there at the point when I was swimming, I was just grabbing anybody, or anybody, trying to save whoever was available. And at the time, I didn't even, like I said, my mind was just very freaked out. I didn't know. Just grab anybody and go back. My mentality was just to help somebody.
Yeah, to help
somebody.
help.
So I got the second kid, and I as well. I kept on doing the same thing. Boom, 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 and I managed to get him across as well. And I was very exhausted and everything, tired. And I also set him on the side of the wall where
Where it was shallow,
dirt, yeah.
donde se podía.
And I lo acosté y estaban acostados ahí nomás, and I guess they drank a lot of water or so. And myself too, I drank some water, but I didn't think very much about myself at that point. No pensaba de mí, nomás pensaba ayudarles a los chavalos. La tercera vez me regresé para atrás. Agarré otro chavalo, pero el chavalo que agarré, como quien dice, ya andaba floating, more or less.
So the third person when you went back for a third time, the person
Second,
you got was
third.
already floating.
More or less floating.
With his face up, or was his face in the water? Up. Okay.
I was swimming and pulling little by little. And, I had like 2-3 bodies already set up on the side of the wall. But that time I was exhausted. I couldn't do anything. I tried. So it must have taken maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Wow.
Where all these, emergency people started coming in. Mission, Fire San Juan Alamo, the
Yeah, Border
firefighters,
Patrol, I think, were there.
Border Patrols, everybody United, and what was the mission? I don't know if it was Mission or McAllen. They told me, hey, you need to go up there already. He said, you're gonna drown, whatever. But when they started putting all the ladders for them to come down, they pushed me up. But when they put the ladders, I went to the fire truck, and I started getting some life jackets. I got about 4. I got one on. I got about 4 or whatever I could carry, and I started going down. I started throwing it to the kids.
Yeah.
There, put one on. Yeah. I started swimming again, and then when I went back, this little girl was out yelling and whatever. She was,
Do you remember how old she was?
She must have been maybe like 13, 14 years old. Most of the kids were from the age of were high school kids or junior high. Maybe from 12
to like 18, correct?
18 more or less, going on 18 or 17.
Because I have a 13-year-old daughter, and I can just imagine.
No way,
it's
man.
like-
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I know at that point, myself, I was scared. I was freaked out, like I said, and very emotional, and emotional in a way where I just wanted to, I was already there. I was trying to do a good
as much
bit
as
for
you
the
can,
kids,
yeah.
with the kids. So this last person that I got, it was a young girl. She didn't know how to swim or anything. Just kept on getting on top of me and on top of me. And I was going underwater.
Damn.
Underwater. Kept on drinking water. And then I would push her away, get her off of me, to get off my back or whatever. And I would pull her little by little, and she would get up again on top of me. And I was underwater, drinking a lot of water. And
Just imagine what's going through your head and then her head at the same time. It's just full survival mode
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
difficult. Before I dropped out of high school, I was in La Jolla High School. I was in the swim team, and part of our training and our exercises would be to get certified as lifeguards. And we would have to go through simulations of where somebody hysterical is the person you're trying to rescue.
yeah.
And I'm sitting here listening to that and getting my hands are sweaty because when somebody doesn't know how to swim and they're trying to claw onto you to try to stay above water,
save themselves,
you become the raft that they want to rest on.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're not swimming. You're fighting for your own life too, and then nothing happens.
So you're ingesting this murky, crappy water that has
man.
diesel in it.
Yeah, I did.
What's going through your head at that time?
Well, like I said, at that moment, I thought I was going to drown.
No, see?
No. Hold on.
Yeah, no, it's okay, man. Go ahead, take your time.
Yeah.
It just hits me.
Yeah.
Okay. So at that moment, I thought I was going to drown, because the little girl was just getting
Get a
top of
little
me.
closer to the mic.
No. Top me, and I just keep her with me, and then I rose up, and I just kept on pulling her. So I put her back with the rest of the kids, the little valley where the water just comes back, and then at that moment, I just collapsed.
Wow.
Right there, So the paramedics and the firefighters started giving me oxygen, pulled me up, put me on a bed, put me flat floor, and they would just just give me oxygen and taking care of me.
So you were literally helping till your body gave up. And
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, brother, that's
And I was just staying there, they were just being right beside me, make sure that I was alive and survive and breathe.
so you put yourself in harm's way, and it's funny because we can't, as a human being, you can't bite yourself hasta que te saques sangre. You can't. There's something about us that doesn't let us deliberately harm ourselves, but yet when somebody is in need or a child needs rescuing, that turns off and your body says, you gotta go. And if you gotta go, this is the way you're going. And then there's no more thinking about what's gonna happen to you. Your only mission is to save what you're looking at. And and you've experienced that, and I've had a chance to feel that burst of energy. So I know what you're going through, and I know what you went through, and it's still very evident that when we go through things like that, it no es gripa, no se quita los 3 días.
No.
You carry that for the rest of your life, man. That's algo que no puedes borrar. You can't erase it.
You carry this I've been carrying it for over 30 years now.
Yeah.
Still there, still fresh.
Well, you should be incredibly proud. Yeah, good, because you ran, and this is the second story we find out about a garden hose, because another individual, supuestamente un vaquero, got 2 hoses, los amarró juntos, and started pulling people out. Okay, so this is the second time we hear of a water hose being used to save somebody. You used it to get down
and
into the water to save the kids, because you got to remember, folks, this caliche pit was basically a big square, and the only way to drive down into it was literally going away from the crash site
through the back end, right?
Through the back end, through Stewart Road. And then or Mayberry, I forget. It's Mayberry, and then coming back in through the wooded area to get to where you could get in. This gentleman here tied a water hose to a post and lowered himself into the muddy, diesel, ugly, stagnant water, and swam to the bus and relieved kids of their worry, got them to safety, and almost lost his life doing it. So that's amazing.
It's a very emotional moment, what happened. Now that it's been 30 years, like I said, it's still fresh in my mind. I can remember every step.
Do you remember the smells and?
Oh, the water was murky, smelly,
Yeah, I bet.
Within the time, I had internal sickness in my stomach. I went bald on my head.
Wow.
All this hair just fell off.
Yeah, because you ingested so much. You understand, man. This is rainwater, storm drainage water, and God knows what else. Dead animals die in those waters. All kinds of stuff goes on in these.
It's like a cesspool.
Yeah, it's like a cesspool, amoebas. Once water is stagnant and it's no longer flowing, it just festers and it becomes infectious. These children were trapped under this water. Miguel here swallowed, ingested some. That has an effect on our body. That has an effect on everything. And literally, what you're saying is that started losing your hair. You started getting.
I was sick for a while, for a long time.
We had heard that 2 children passed away because of what they ingested. So you obviously survived, and you got the.
I got some, like I said, side effects: losing my hair, internal stomach sickness, and I was maybe almost for a whole year. Kept on going to the doctor.
Wow.
Yeah, and the post-traumatic stress syndromes that you're obviously still suffering from is again, doesn't go away, man. Eso no es gripa, no se quita, eso no se borra. Yeah, no.
How often do you think about that day?
Oh, I try not to. Only when somebody mentions the bus accident.
It brings you right there, yeah.
It clicks right away in my mind. And it kind of takes me back to that moment that happened, And as well, I think what's been going through my mind lately, especially since we found each other, I go, it's been almost 30 years.
33 years.
33 years.
I wonder how those kids who I saved or whatever, I wonder how they're doing, or
we're gonna find out for you. We're gonna reach out to them and
what's going on in their lives.
Yeah, no, we're interested. We're going to. It'd be great if we could get them together again, man. So if any of you guys know or heard of somebody telling a story about Miguel swimming them to safety, reach out to us. Comment. Reach out to Josh. We'd love to get you guys together and kind of go over all that. It would be
something awesome, that I don't know.
You could find closure, yeah.
Find out that they're doing good, and for some reason they're alive.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea, and I think that's something that we can and will try to pursue.
Absolutely, I think the goal of this, for the first podcast that we had about the Queen Isabella Causeway, it was literally fueled by the comments of the YouTube audience. So this is so ingrained in Rio Grande Valley culture. Everybody knows about this. So if you know anybody, send them our way. We'd love to have them on the podcast because there's
Definitely.
so many unanswered questions, stories like this that don't get to be told through a book or through anything
Yeah,
else. I
no,
think.
no.
I've been waiting years, to maybe something like this to happen to me. To actually sit with somebody like you guys, and
I'm glad you said that, man.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
story who people don't know, or those people who are living right now that are, actually were gonna die in the bus accident or drown. To find out that hey,
Valió la
thank
pena.
the Lord,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
the Lord they were alive. That somebody got me closer and try to help them out. I'm not asking for anything. I just, I'm just glad they're living.
Just an update. Yeah. Just an update.
living, and and it's just the way it is.
I think that adds a little piece back to your heart, where it's a little bit of closure. Like just to
Yeah.
know that they're doing well, that they're still alive, that they're doing something.
Yeah, man. And
they're alive,
you're
alive at that moment. Their lives were about to end, But like I said, is just a moment of craziness in my mind, in my body.
Es que Diosito es muy grande.
Sí, que me dijo,
Get in there.
tienes que brincar allí.
Yeah. You got to jump in there. You got to
jump
do what
in
you.
there, and you got to do something about it,
So you felt that. You felt like being pulled.
I just got out of the car and started running, and I sat down. Started to go. I say, man, started like, hey, what?
Wow.
Say what the flaca, man? How am I gonna do
Yeah.
this?
How am I going to get in there?
Yeah, so I just this crazy idea, the water hose, and this just the way it happened, it happened, and I didn't even think anything. It is.
Yeah, no, there was no time to think.
No, I wasn't even thinking,
It's que I think a lot of times at those moments when we're struggling with those things, I think our minds know to shut off, and we act on human spirit and on what we're brought up with, and it's like every time you're at a gas station and somebody pulls up and says, "Hey, excuse me, do you know how I can get to the courthouse de aquí?" And luego people, "Oh yeah, mira, te vas por aquí," and you turn right and you go here, and then somebody you're with starts saying, No. It's easier if you go this way and go dile que se vaya. Well, the reason that happens is because internally, as human beings, we all want to be of use. We all want to help. We all want to offer some kind of assistance, even when it's something as small as direction somewhere. Now you have somebody's life is at risk. And we have that built into us to where we want to help, man. We want to go and do things for people when we can.
Yeah.
And I think that instinct takes over, and all of a sudden you're in the shit and you're in the water and you're saving people and you don't even know how you're doing it.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a long time. Every year that goes by, I don't know for what reason it is, but I've been wanting to join the group that hangs around there on the caliche,
Oh, really? That's a group?
ceremonies. But I don't know what it is. For some reason, I end up missing it.
Yeah, no,
Missing
you
the
should go.
ceremony.
You should go,
Wanting to go,
and you should be there.
every year that passes by, a lot of comments. I get a lot of comments on Facebook. That they thank me. Even people from California, people from Utah, all over, who know about the bus accident. They send me comments, good comments, and ratings and stuff like that, which it makes me feel good, man.
Yeah.
Makes me feel wonderful, People who do not live in the valley know what happened, and they know about me, which most people here in the valley don't even know.
Yeah, a lot of people they know about a bus accident, but they don't know
The magnitude
of
was.
it, and the story about the people who did everything they can and more to the point to where they're risking their own lives. They don't know those stories. All they know are the details. A bus got hit by a Coca-Cola truck. There was a big payout, and 20-some kids died.
Yeah.
And we need to change that, and that's what Josh and I are working on.
Yeah, last year,
Excuse me, I'm gonna
some
open
officers from up north, officers, you were thanking me and giving me good comments, and thank the Lord you were there and saving these kids. And I didn't even expect all of that. But when I opened Facebook
Yeah.
comments, all of that was in there, and it was around that time when the bus same date the bus
Wow.
accident happened.
Yeah, that's part of our goal is to share these stories because, like I said before, I feel a lot of people, they forget about these stories. They forget about the people that were involved, and
Yeah.
it's such an important thing to keep the memories alive. Like with the Queen Isabella Causeway collapse, I go back to it because
Yeah.
that's the first time that we ever got to meet the people that were part of it, and now we're getting to meet the people that are part of this.
Yeah.
And I think it takes on a different approach for what we're doing with the podcast or
Definitely.
with the documentary to
Definitely.
be able to celebrate the people that were part of it.
Yeah.
And not only to remember the lives, but the people that made it possible.
They're humanitarian stories, man. Like they're people that were human, and we're brothers and sisters, even though we don't know each other, man.
Yeah.
And the proof to that is that you were physically acting like if it was your daughter or your sister in the
Yeah.
water. You were risking your life for a
In a way,
complete
yes,
stranger.
yes.
For a complete stranger, and that to me
yes.
tells us that we're all children under God, and we recognize each other as siblings and as worthwhile. So the proof to that is the unexplainable actions that Miguel and other people who put themselves in harm's way, what they do for somebody that they don't even know. It's a testament to that.
Do you keep in contact with anybody that was involved?
No, I don't know nobody at this time. Like I said, it's been like I said, over 30 years.
33 years.
I don't know nobody.
What about shortly after that? What was life after?
Well, I was gonna make a comment on that. Shortly after that, people in the area will call me Mike the Hero. Mike the Hero from Alton, who saved some lives. So that made me feel good.
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
in a way.
Yeah. See, come on.
Months later, I came out on Time Magazine.
Oh wow.
Little article.
Wow.
Mike Herrera from Alton, blah blah blah. The heroes saved 5 lives. So that made
That's
me
amazing.
like boom.
Yeah.
I felt awesome to come out on a magazine.
Yeah.
A very famous magazine, which is Time
Yeah,
Magazine.
Time Magazine's it's been around forever.
It's and
Very prestigious.
I never kept some. I never kept anything. I didn't even think of keeping things. And
Yeah.
everybody would tell me, "Why don't you just hang them on whatever or keep
Mm-hmm.
them or save 'em?" I did at the point, but at some point, it just went through my mind. I just I disposed of it.
Is it because you didn't want to relive it, or
I really don't know what it was, but to me, it was a very emotional thing. Maybe that's what it is,
Yeah.
or what it was. And you can tell right now, I'm kind of, my mind is still fresh and emotional, how I got it.
33 years ago?
That's why I probably just disregard about this stuff.
Yeah.
But the moments are there, the memories, everything's still there,
Yeah.
I won't forget one piece of the action that
No, pues la
happened.
calichera está ahí. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Have you passed by there?
I pass by there, but I go,
Yeah. Go real fast. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't get off, man.
Yeah.
I don't get off, I been there, I seen it, I swallow it and everything, I don't.
It's not a good memory.
It's not a good memory for me.
Do
I
you
just
feel
think-
like if you go, it would probably be some type of closure or
I've been trying to for the past years, and I passed by there, and I passed, but I never stopped.
yeah.
Never stopped. I haven't stopped. As it is, I have pictures in my phone of the caliche with all the crosses there, the way it's set up. I took pictures, but I didn't get closer.
Yeah.
I took pictures from across the street.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I haven't had the moment to actually walk in there
There's a park down there now. Yeah.
I've gone to the park, but what I'm saying, where all the crosses are hanging,
Yeah,
I haven't stepped. I don't know why, but I haven't. Like I said, I took pictures, but from across the
That's Church
street.
Street. Yeah.
Yeah. So going back right after the accident, when you were just getting out of the hospital, what was life right after that? Were you part of like the lawsuit that everything was going on?
Well, at a point when I was sick, I had no money to take care of my health. My hair was falling off. I got separated from my marriage también.
During that time?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
After maybe a year or two.
How long were you married?
9 miserable years.
Miserable.
Yeah, sounds like the first 9 years of any marriage is just that.
It's a hit and then it's cold.
Yeah.
So going up back, you got divorced during that time.
Yeah.
What was life right after that? Like, how was life?
Life is like, I've always worked. I've always been a hard worker in my life. Just working. And this family who actually lived around the area called the Quinteros, one of the kids died in the bus accidents.
Mm-hmm.
And they came up to me, what's going on? I go, no, they look sick, whatever. And my hair is falling. Why don't you? They told me, why don't you talk to an attorney so you can get medical help, So I did it at a point, and they helped me out. They gave me a lot about attention, doctor's attention, medication, whatever I needed, So I got through the years. And they did help me out,
Good.
They helped me out pretty good. And I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
At that point, I had no money to take care of my health,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So these lawsuits that were going on, we heard like one family got like $12 million, another one got $1 million. What are your thoughts on that? Because it was kind of like
that's ridiculous, ridiculous. I think since Coca-Cola is a world company, I think they're trying to take advantage of the Coca-Cola company. They got a lot of, hitting for big lots of money. People who lost 2 kids, they were getting like $9 million. One child maybe $4 million.
Mm-hmm.
They say people lost 3 kids, hitting like 12 million plus. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
You can't finish that money just like that. It should last you forever. And after they got settled maybe after 3 years, 5 years. Because they gave me some money after 5 years. It took me a long time. So I struggled through
the 5 years.
5 years. 5 years, and at the same time being sick and whatever I went through. But it happened. But I'm saying these people who got all this money, mega money, 12, 9, $10 million, man, they were going crazy, buying new cars and mansions. I don't know if you got the 5
No, so talk about that, because I'm super interested. Like what was going on like right after that? These people got their money. What was Alton like at that point?
Alton at that point was like the city started growing up a little bit more and more, because more people started spending money on homes. People started buying properties.
To subdivide.
Yeah, to buy acres and stuff like that, and they were making mansions.
Wow.
Mansions, not just a little.
So from a little house to huge mansions.
They went like rich people, like living in Las Vegas. I would say Alton, Little Vegas. That's what I would put it like.
Yeah, I remember.
Because
when
if
all
you
this
drive
stuff
through
started going
Alton, maybe through Alton, I don't know, Stewart, Cherry Road, and stuff like that, all you see is mansions, starting from 1 mile line all the way to maybe 4 mile line.
Wow.
And you see all these mansions with extra properties and animals outside. They living la vida loca.
Yeah, no, but it's good. They're humble people, and they come into money, and they want to buy all their dreams. Because the one dream they have was taken away from them, the dream to see their kid grow up.
Yeah, and within that, like I said, within that point, maybe when they started getting their money, that's people started going crazy around the area. Just going right and left buying properties and new cars. It's nothing usual that you would see before that happened. You would see all these humble people driving old cars, and just being humble. But after that, they became rich, from.
Were there consequences of them getting all that money, and now all of a sudden they're just buying all this stuff?
I didn't quite understand what you're trying to ask.
I guess what did they falter? Like, was there bad stuff that happened after they got the money? Because it's kind of just like a Band-Aid.
Well, I don't recall very much about that, but I would hear that after getting all the money, their kids start getting in trouble, crashing, or stuff like that.
There's several stories of siblings, brothers and sisters that came into money when they lost somebody in the bus accident. That those kids would later on get into accidents and get into the trouble with law and stuff like that because of the amount of money they had access to and the things that they were doing.
I actually have a family member from my mother's side of the family. One of the I don't even remember her name because I knew and my mom told me, family told me that she was a family member. The young girl who died on the bus accident, it was probably a late cousin or something like that. Well, al papá de la muchacha esa le dieron como 4 millones, 5 millones, and the guy was very humble from Mexico,
Yeah.
And once he got that money, man, he explored life, he started buying properties and apartments and stuff like that. So the guy never worked again, he just living his life, out of, per se, money for a life,
Yeah.
And I haven't heard from him. He just vanished away from family.
Really?
And everything. But I do know that has probably like a finance company and he has rental homes, stuff like that.
So
But
they sirvió el dinero.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from for years, for years.
Wow.
So, I would imagine people at this point of life, which has been 33 years from there, I don't think those $9 million
Didn't do
would
it too
last that long,
Yeah.
Because people were just going crazy, spending the money
Just
like
blowing
crazy.
money.
Yeah, blowing it like you don't have money and you got it, you wanna go,
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy,
Dice un
yeah.
dicho en español que el que nunca ha tenido y llega a tener, hasta loco se quiere volver.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard that before?
Sí,
My dad would
sí.
say it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's true, man. He who has none and all of a sudden has it all
Yeah.
usually loses his mind.
Yeah.
And it's true. It is true with people who win the lottery, and it's true with people who get settlements for the loss of loved ones. We get it, and then you're trying to feel better. You're trying to recuperate some kind of feeling over what you lost, and now you have the ability to go buy your distractions. And sometimes buying a distraction means buying a home or buying a car or taking a trip.
Yeah.
Well, all of that stuff depletes the money that we're given to heal with, not to buy our distractions. So it's just a lack of understanding
Yeah.
what happens when you get the money.
I kind of went through that stage, part of my life when Coca-Cola offered me some money. I was remarried, younger lady, and I was older. And my dad, I was in this marriage and then getting into another one. Getting up one horse and
Ya
climbing
para subirte al
another
otro,
horse.
yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
And my dad would see me, I didn't keep the money under my name. I just, my dad, my dad was like my right arm,
Yeah,
my friend.
sure.
And he would tell me, no seas pendejo. I go, what do you mean? Because I was drinking and having a great time, I never had that money in my life before. And going to the island or whatever. And he told me, no seas pendejo, it's just a comment where we're talking about money where you can blow it when you never have it. My dad made the comment, he goes, mijo, ven pa' acá. He goes, no seas pendejo. I go, ¿de qué está hablando usted? Dice, no seas pendejo, dice, ese dinero que tienes, hazte una pinche casa. El dinero que te va a acabar y te va a llevar la madre, man. Told me.
Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. So I listened to him, I
Yeah.
put the money to use. I made me a house.
Good.
Made a house, bought a car, Where's the house is gone already? Too.
Yeah.
So the mentality there of the people, it was a very community. It was common sense. Like this is how we live. We live a humble
people
life.
From the barrio, humble people, you know, and they just go crazy once you got the money
in your hand.
in your hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that people, you know, probably never had maybe $1,000, $2,000 on their hands.
And now they have more.
But once
than
they
ever
receive
dreamt.
$1,000, they go, "Oh my God, man! Look how much money I have." Well, imagine all the money they got, man. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a new appreciation for life after the bus accident?
Oh man, let me tell you, I feel like it's beautiful. You know, you gotta cherish every moment of your life the way you can. The expression I make in myself, and I tell my kids, enjoy life. Life is beautiful. You know, but you need to know how to enjoy it. And I use this expression: grab life by the horns. No, grab life and grab the bull by the horns. You know, that means really pay attention to your life and live it up. You know, if you let that bull knock you down, man, you're done. You know, so you have to understand life and appreciate life. That life is really beautiful, but you know, you need to live it good. You know, and just live by the rules of life. You know,
And that's enough. Yeah.
that's it, you know, and I live that way, you know. I'm a very spontaneous person, outgoing. I have this other word that says, a mí me vale madre, yo me voy a aventar, ¿no? Yo me aviento lo que pase. Si pasa un problema lo resuelvo and I keep on going, you know. But I'm a very positive person, and you know, it's just the way I am, you know.
And I think that's what a lot of people need now, because I feel like through the pandemic and going after that, now we're seeing a lot of deaths online.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen anything like that before, and I'm not sure if it's been like that before. But with social media now, it's just more amplified.
Now
but
you see it so
I
real
think
time.
with what you went through, what Robert went through, is it's kind of refreshing for somebody that's never been like that. And I've always been very positive too, but I see a lot of people struggling out there, and that's
real.
one of the things we talk about PTSD quite a bit. I know Robert's very passionate about sharing that, and we can see that you're struggling as well. So I think being able to share these stories helps somebody that's watching, even if it's just one person.
One person, it does its job. Yeah.
I've had some emotional moments in my life through this situation, you know, that I went through. At times it hunts me. I think about it and I get emotional like I do right now.
Yeah.
But it's something that I gotta let it go, you know. I have to let it go.
Yeah.
And I think this moment right now is gonna help me out.
Yeah, it will.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
Which I've never talked about it before to
Yeah.
anybody, you know.
Oh, wow.
I would mention stuff like that about the bus accident and tell man, and they take my hand and go, "Hey, that's awesome what you did," whatever, you know. But I had never had the moment to appreciate, like right now. We're recording whatever we're doing,
Yeah.
and it makes me feel relief.
Good.
Robert
Either
has
way.
a good saying about that. It says you give a piece. What was
Yeah,
the?
you when we go through things like that, we take on everything that we saw and everything that we lived, and since we did it by ourselves, or the few people that were with us, todo lo cargas, you carry it all yourself. But when you start telling people about it and you start telling the masses and platicando con gente, you're giving it away to somebody.
Yeah.
Y se te hace más liviana la carga, and before you know it, a bunch of people are carrying your story, and it's less weight for you. So it's good to talk, and thank you for picking Josh and I to come tell your story. We're passionate about getting the truth
The
out.
moment I saw your text there, I go, oh, man, you know, I had been waiting for this moment for
A long time.
years, you know.
Good.
For, like I said, 33 years.
Wow.
So I guess like they say, you know, something happens for a good
Diosito
reason.
sabe lo que hace. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it just happened, you know, it just happened. I've gotten comments, like I told you, people from up north, comments about my experience, and they give me good comments. But when I saw your comment there, whatever, I jumped into it, you know. I go, this is the time where
Yeah, it is. You're
let
right.
it go, you know.
Good. Let it go, because you said it a little while ago, life is wonderful and we need to enjoy it and make good decisions.
You need to live to the fullest, man. You never know what's going to
The
happen.
only way to live your life in the fullest is to let go of the past.
Yeah.
Sit. You can't get to your destination if you're walking backwards, looking at where you're coming from the whole time. You're walking backwards. You're looking where you're coming from. You're never gonna get there. You're gonna trip. You're gonna fall. You're gonna bump into stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna go the wrong way.
That's what I say. Que te valga madre.
That's right.
Dale pa' adelante.
Dale pa' adelante. That's right. Yeah. Don't look back.
You know?
Ni un paso para atrás ni para agarrar
Yeah.
vuelo, and let's go. You know.
Yeah.
So, Mike, man, I want to say thank you because I feel that the people who you saved would want us to say thank you on their behalf, and the people listening and watching are gonna want to thank you. So again, thank you for picking us and for doing what you did.
For having me here.
Absolutely.
For sharing the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 33 years.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just like it happened yesterday. And like
Is there anything else that you remember that maybe we forgot to touch on?
No, I think for now it's good.
It's good. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to invite you back. You said you've never been to the memorial. Josh and I are going to hopefully reach out and find some of the people that you helped, and maybe we can get the 3 or 4 or whoever of you want to participate to come out and meet us at the memorial. You know,
I wouldn't mind at all.
And you
talk
don't
about
have to experience it by yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to be there. Yeah, you'll have a
I
support
won't mind
system.
at all. It will be a pleasure for me to be there.
Good.
And actually, I'm smiling to see the person that is alive and doing well. You know.
Well, we're gonna work on that. That's gonna kind of be what our mission is, to get as many of these people who lived through this together again back at that park, and we can all they can say their farewells and leave their piece there where it took place, and maybe everybody leaves, you know, a better person and with a little bit of better understanding of how things happen, and none of us can explain why. We just gotta keep on keeping on.
So with that being said, guys, we need your help once again. Like we can't do any of this without you. And the awards that we're getting for the documentary is because of you all. I mean, we want to share the truest stories of the Rio Grande Valley and the people that were part of it from their own mouths. So yeah, that's the mission now, and when we need your help as we did with our first project. Miguel, it was wonderful having you on board, man.
I
just want to thank you. I know your hands.
I got hurt. I have
a stent in. Yeah, no, I didn't want to.
But like I said, I enjoyed the moment being here with you guys, and I thank you.
Yeah, to the viewers. Yeah, everybody. We need the help.
Now you know who I am.
Yeah.
And I hope we see you there soon or reach out to you. Thank you.
We'll see you guys.
Peace.
Take care.